What if the universe is alive? Have you ever had that feeling that something was watching you, even though nobody was there? Not a person, not an animal, just a strange feeling that you couldn't explain. Now, what if I told you that some people believe the universe itself might be alive? Not alive in the way humans are alive. Not a giant creature floating through space. Something far stranger. Because the more scientists learn about the universe, the more one unsettling question keeps appearing. What if the universe isn't just a place where life exists? What if the universe itself is alive? At first, that sounds ridiculous. After all, we usually think of life as something that grows, reproduces, and responds to its environment. Humans are alive, animals are alive, plants are alive. But the universe? That seems impossible. Yet, when we step back and look at the bigger picture, some strange similarities begin to appear. Think about your body. Your body is made up of trillions of cells. Each cell has its own job. Most cells have no idea what the entire body is doing. A single cell in your finger doesn't understand your thoughts. It doesn't know your plans. It doesn't know you're watching this right now. It's simply carrying out its function as a part of a much larger system. Now imagine humanity. There are billions of us living on one tiny planet, each person living their own life, each person focused on their own problems. What if we are like cells, not inside a body, but inside something much larger? Something so vast that we cannot even perceive it. The idea sounds like science fiction, but some philosophers and scientists have explored concepts surprisingly similar to it. One reason is that the universe appears strangely organized. The laws of physics seem remarkably precise. Gravity behaves consistently. Light behaves consistently. Matter behaves consistently. Everything follows patterns. Without these patterns, stars could not form. Galaxies could not exist. Planets would never appear. And life as we know it would be impossible. Some people look at these facts and see coincidence. Others see something more. They wonder whether the universe behaves less like a random explosion and more like a system. A system that may be operating according to rules we barely understand. Now here's where things get even stranger. Scientists have discovered that the human brain and the large-scale structure of the universe share surprising similarities. Images of neural networks in the brain sometimes resemble maps of galaxies connected by vast cosmic filaments. Of course, this doesn't prove anything. A resemblance is not evidence, but it's enough to make people wonder, why do structures separated by unimaginable scales sometimes look strangely alike? Could it be coincidence, or could be there deeper patterns hidden beneath reality? Imagine for a moment that the universe is alive. What would that actually mean? Would it be aware of us? Would it know humanity exists? Maybe not. Remember the cells in your body. You don't consciously think about every individual cell. Most of them go unnoticed. Yet, they are still part of you. What if humanity is the same? What if we are a part of something so enormous that our entire civilization is barely noticeable? A tiny component in a system beyond our comprehension. But there is an even stranger possibility. What if consciousness itself is more fundamental than we think? Most people assume consciousness is created by brain. The brain exists first. Consciousness appears afterward. Simple. But some theories suggest the opposite. What if consciousness is woven into reality itself? What if consciousness isn't something produced by the universe? What if consciousness is a feature of the universe? A bit like gravity, or time, or space. In that case, every conscious being might be connected to something much larger. Not through magic, not through anything supernatural, but through aspects of reality we haven't yet discovered. Now, before anyone says this is proven science, it isn't. These ideas remain highly speculative, but that's exactly why they are fascinating. Because they force us to question assumptions we rarely think about. For example, why does anything exist at all? Why is there a universe instead of nothing? Why do the laws of physics exist? Why do consciousness exist? The truth is that even our best scientific models don't answer every question. The deeper we explore reality, the more mysteries we uncover. And perhaps the biggest mystery is consciousness itself. After all, you're experiencing reality right now. You are aware. You have thoughts. You have emotions. You have a sense of self. But what exactly is awareness? And where does it come from? Why does matter arranged in a certain way suddenly begin experiencing existence? Nobody knows for sure. And until we understand consciousness, it's difficult to rule out possibilities that seem impossible today. Imagine explaining the internet to someone living thousands of years ago. They would probably think you were describing magic. Yet today it's completely normal. What discoveries might humanity make in the next 1,000 years, 10,000 years, a million years? Perhaps future civilizations will look back at our understanding of reality the same way we look back at the ancient maps of the world. Incomplete, primitive, missing most of the picture. And maybe one day they'll uncover truths that completely transform how we view our place in the cosmos. Maybe they'll discover that consciousness connects everything. Maybe they'll discover that reality is far stranger than we imagined. Or maybe they'll confirm that the universe is nothing more than matter, energy, physics laws. The truth is we don't know, but that's what makes the question so powerful. Because every time we look deeper into the universe, we find ourselves staring into another mystery. The stars, the galaxies, the laws of physics, consciousness itself. Each answer seems to create even more questions, and perhaps that's the most fascinating possibility of all. Maybe the universe isn't just a collection of objects floating through space. Maybe it's something far more complex, something we haven't yet learned how to recognize. So the next time you look up at the night sky, consider this. You might be looking at empty space. You might be looking at countless worlds. Or you might be looking at something much bigger than humanity ever imagined. Something so vast, so ancient, and so mysterious that we are only beginning to ask the right questions to ourselves. So, what if the universe is alive? Can we answer this question? I don't think so.